Good day, everyone. Glad to see you here on the channel. I wanted to drop by for a quick update on the weather for this week and give you some heads up about today's weather. And let's start off with the severe threat for today. We do have a marginal risk that's a level 1 out of 5, but that's all. Just a really low end risk for severe weather. And let's break down what the Storm Prediction Center says for the possibilities. For the tornado outlook, I mean, really, there's less than 2% possibility of anything like that happening here. So, really, not a chance at all. For severe hail, really nothing at all. Western Kentucky has a possibility of seeing a storm or two that could generate some hail. But for us, I mean, at the very best, maybe a few little tiny grapple pellets or something like that. Not a big deal if we can get under one of these intense storms later today. And the main threat for us is wind. We do have a possibility of seeing some pretty gusty winds with these storms. The kind that, tears little limbs out of trees and stuff like that, the leaves blowing around, that kind of stuff. Not a big deal, but just be weather aware. There is a possibility of some stronger storms this afternoon. All right. So let's get into the quick forecast here on for the next 3 days. For Saturday, today, truly partly sunny, muggy, hot, good chance of rain throughout the day, especially this afternoon. Uh, as we'll see the clouds start to bubble up somewhere starting mid-afternoon or so. Not everyone's going to see rain, but one or two of those storms that do develop could be on the strong side with some damaging wind gusts. We do have that level 1 out of 5 threat, so just keep that in mind for those strong storms. It's basically just that marginal risk for us. There is a roughly 40 to 50% chance of rain today, depending, I guess, on kind of where you're at. I try to focus here on this area, and looking at the computer models this morning, yeah, there's a good possibility we'll see something falling from the sky at some point. High today near 91 degrees, but the heat index will make it feel more like 100. It's already up there pretty high this morning, around 85 to 88 for a feel like temperature. Now, for your Sunday, that's when we will start to see a change happening. We'll see partly sunny skies, still warm, high around 88 to 89 degrees, depending on kind of where you're at. Humidity levels are going to start to trend downward. But to start off the day, in fact, probably the first 2/3 of the day, it's going to be hot and muggy like today is. But as the day wears on, that cool front will make its way through. You'll see a line of showers develop, and those lines of showers will help to squeegee out the atmosphere and make it feel much, much better by late Sunday evening. Right now, it looks like around a 30 to 40% chance of rain for us, but we'll see. And truthfully, I didn't put it on there, but there is a level 1 out of 5 risk for storms for us, and focusing mostly on eastern Kentucky for that. We're on the very, very edge of it, but it's a possibility. Just keep that in mind. Winds, I forgot to mention the winds over there for today. Winds can be kind of gusty today. You could see anywhere from 15 to 30 mile an hour gusts without storms, and I'll show you that here in a minute on the weather map. But definitely a chance to see some winds today, a little bit of winds tomorrow. Once that front moves through, that's going to make a super, super difference. Your Monday is a super nice day. Low humidity. Honestly, some places, especially in the shaded areas, may not get out of the 70s on Monday. That's going to feel fantastic. And I mean, absolutely fantastic. Here's a quick look at the 7-day forecast. Like I said, scattered storms and showers, somewhere around a 50% chance of rain. Sunday, I forgot to put the percentage on there, somewhere around 30 to 40% chance, depending on kind of where you're at. Monday, a super nice day. Tuesday, still a really, really nice day, but warming back up. Wednesday, some storms start to show up late in the day on Wednesday. That's our next front that'll move through. Sadly, right, it looks like the 4th of July on Thursday does have a chance to have some decent thunder boomers out there in the sky. Looks like pretty good likelihood, but we'll see as it gets closer. For Friday, again, some scattered storms, scattered rain throughout the day. That's a possibility for Friday. But notice after today and Wednesday, it doesn't look like we're going to see the 90s again for a while. I'm ready for that. Okay, let me pop over to the weather map real quick here. And I mentioned that the winds are kind of gusty, and you can see here on this map the little blue wind icons moving to the north. That's what we got. Right now, we've got that southern flow of air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, pushing in that warm, moist air. And we are going to feel that. We're going to feel that warmth and humidity throughout the day today and the day tomorrow. Now, let me back out a little bit here and talk about the front that's going to make its way through. So you see, there's this high pressure off the East Coast, almost off the East Coast. They circle in this fashion. They circle in a clockwise fashion. So we're seeing that warm, moist air flow up along the outside edge of that high pressure system. This low pressure that's off to the west, it flows in a counterclockwise direction. You can see that by the wind moving in that direction. And we're going to see this front make its way through. It should make its way through or get close to us by late this afternoon. That's when we're actually going to see the possibility of some precipitation popping up as I drop the radar in on the image here. You can see we've got some rain off to the north. We got some rain off to the west. And as this front gets closer, that's when we're going to start to see the stuff really bubble up here in Kentucky. Right now, nothing, no precipitation at all. But that'll change. And as it does, that's when you'll get um, the better chance of rain, especially after that noon hour. If you check the radar this afternoon, probably 1 or 2 o'clock, you'll start to see little pops showing up all over the radar. If I pulled up one of the computer models and showed you somewhere starting around 1 or 2 o'clock, they just start to pop everywhere, little tiny blips all over. And that's what we're looking at getting. It's just those pop-up showers, pop-up storms. And then as this first wave moves its way through, that'll kind of calm down into tonight and then into tomorrow as well. But when this second front here makes its way through, that's going to be the refresher. That's going to be the big change for us. Once it makes its way through tomorrow afternoon, we could see another line of storms develop along that front. And as they do, that will give us that increased chance for rain on Sunday. But once that gets through, that sets us up for an absolutely fantastic Monday and Tuesday. Both days looking really, really nice. Okay. I want to share something else out here with you real quick. I want to pop over to Chris Bailey's forecast here on the Kentucky Weather Center. He does a fantastic job. If you haven't read any of his blog posts, it's Kentucky Weather Center, kyweathercenter.com. Go check it out. He does a great job. What I wanted to point out, just really quick here, showing the GFS Monday morning, we could possibly see some low 50s for temperatures on Monday. Ooh, that's going to feel good. Okay, let me go down here to the tropics. We do have a tropical storm barrel that has now formed, and that's making its way toward the Gulf of Mexico over the next week or so. And as that storm gets closer and closer to the Gulf of Mexico, we'll be able to determine better on the direction it's going to go. Let me show you what's called a spaghetti plot. This spaghetti plot is what helps to drive us and focus what direction we're going to go. So you're looking at, the black line as being the average. That's heading toward Texas right now. This will change over the next few days, but we'll see as time goes on. The one thing to consider, storms that end up in the Gulf are things that help to drive our fuel prices. If we get a big hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, that's going to really bump up the fuel prices. Just keep a heads up for that. Just wanting to warn you there. All right, that's all I've got for today. I do want to show you one quick thing. If you haven't checked out the Powell County newspaper, the Powell County, or yeah, it is the Powell County Patriot. Please check that out. Go pick up a copy. This is a really, really good local paper that has replaced the Clay City Times. Owned by local people, does a great job. And I'm not saying that just because I'm in it this time, but heads up, maybe at some point in the future, you might see my forecasts in there as well as on WSKV 104.9 daily. So, give a listen to WSKV. You'll hear me on the radio in the future. Maybe check out the Patriot and you might see my forecast in there as well. All right, that's all I've got for you. Have a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. It's all good. Have a good one.